I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue now in 3rd Nephi. Christ has done his ministry among the Jews out in Jerusalem. He is now ministering to the Nephites. This is still the first day of his appearance, his first appearance. He has delivered the Sermon on the Mount to the people. He has also taught the 12 disciples many great things, especially the other sheep I have, and prophesying of the restoration in the last days and how the Book of Mormon will establish the truth and reveal to the world the history of the scattered tribes of Israel. We've read all of that. Now we're going to pick this up in chapter 17. Behold, and now it came to pass that when Jesus had spoken these words, he looked round about again on the multitude, and he said unto them, Behold, my time is at hand. I perceive that ye are weak, that ye cannot understand all my words which I am commanded of the Father to speak unto you at this time. Therefore go ye unto your homes, and ponder upon the things which I have said, and ask of the Father in my name, that ye may understand, and prepare your minds for the morrow. And I come unto you again. But now I go unto the Father, and also to show myself unto the lost tribes of Israel, for they are not lost unto the Father, for he knoweth whither he hath taken them. And it came to pass that when Jesus had thus spoken, he cast his eyes round about again on the multitude, and behold, they were in tears, and did look steadfastly upon him, as if they would ask him to tarry a little longer with them. And he said unto them, Behold, my bowels are filled with compassion towards you. Have ye any that are sick among you? Bring them hither. Have ye any that are lame, or blind, or halt, or maimed, or leprous, or that are withered, or that are deaf, or that are afflicted in any manner? Bring them hither, and I will heal them. For I have compassion upon you. My bowels are filled with mercy. For I perceive that ye desire that I should show unto you what I have done unto your brethren at Jerusalem. For I see that your faith is sufficient that I should heal you. And it came to pass that when he had thus spoken, all the multitude with one accord did go forth with their sick and their afflicted and their lame, and with their blind and with their dumb, and with all them that were afflicted in any manner. And he did heal them every one, as they were brought forth unto him. And they did all, both they who had been healed and they who were whole, bow down at his feet, and did worship him. And as many as could come for the multitude did kiss his feet, insomuch that they did bathe his feet with their tears. This really shows us the human side of Christ, you might say. He tells them, I've delivered the message that I was sent to teach you. I've taught you all. I see you having trouble with it. Go home, pray about it. God will help you understand it. Come back tomorrow, and I will teach you some more. And he says, I've got to go now, because I've got other people I got to visit. I got to go report back to the Father. But then he sees the people, and they are in tears. And he decides, well, I guess I can spend a little more time. The love of Christ in this moment is just, it's awe-inspiring. He has the commandment from the Father, and he is in perfect accord with the Father. But he decides here that he is going to delay just a little bit. He can spare a little extra time to bless the people here. They have the faith. And he knows that his Father isn't going to object. It's not going to gum up the works of the whole plan for him to minister a little longer to the people. But he doesn't teach them anymore. He's not giving them further instruction. He says, bring everybody who is sick or lame or injured in any way. And he heals them. And I think there were quite a few who were sick, lame, injured, whatever, because of the recent cataclysms that happened at Christ's death. This is only a few months later. Surely there's got to have been a lot of people who were injured and not killed at that time that are in this crowd. He heals all of them, and as many as can come to his feet, worshiping in tears. It's a wonderful thing. But what strikes me most about it is he says that he has to go because he has a commandment from the Father. But then he chooses to stay. And it shows again that Christ, even though he is one with the Father in purpose, intent, in what they're doing, and he submits perfectly to the Father's will, he still has his own mind. He still has his own personality. And in this moment, he decided on his own authority. He knew that the Father would approve. He didn't go against the Father's will, but he used his authority to say, I can spend a little extra time here before I go do the other things I need to do. This shows us he had his own thoughts, his own mind, and the Father trusts him completely. But let us continue. Verse 11. And it came to pass that he commanded that their little children should be brought. So they brought their little children, and set them down upon the ground round about him. And Jesus stood in the midst, and the multitude gave way till they had all been brought unto him. And it came to pass that when they had all been brought, and Jesus stood in the midst, he commanded the multitude that they should kneel down upon the ground. And it came to pass that when they had knelt upon the ground, Jesus groaned within himself, and said, Father, I am troubled because of the wickedness of the people of the house of Israel. And when he had said these words, he himself also knelt upon the earth, and behold, he prayed unto the Father. And the things which he prayed cannot be written. And the multitude did bear record who heard him. And after this manner do they bear record. The eye hath never seen, neither hath the ear heard before, so great and marvelous things as we saw and heard Jesus speak unto the Father. And no tongue can speak, neither can there be written by any man, neither can the hearts of men conceive so great and marvelous things as we both saw and heard Jesus speak. And no tongue can speak, neither can there be written by any man, neither can the hearts of men conceive so great and marvelous things as we both saw and heard Jesus speak. And no one can conceive of the joy which filled our souls at the time we heard him pray for us unto the Father. He calls the children up, and note that the crowd backs up to make room for all the children. I like that. And honestly, I would love to know what this prayer was. I know we're not going to know, and eventually we'll know, because everything will be revealed at the second coming. But first of all, I get the impression that Christ was not speaking in any language spoken on earth, probably speaking in the Adamic tongue. And by the power of the Spirit, everybody could understand him, which is partly what made it so astounding, so spiritually moving, and why it cannot be recorded, because the Adamic tongue is very hard to translate into anything else. But not just the language, but the very spirit of the prayer is too powerful for mortal minds to comprehend. Unless you are there to experience it, what the testimony is saying here is that unless you are there to experience it, you cannot conceive. You think of the most glorious thing that your mind can think of, and it doesn't even come close to what we experienced when Christ prayed for us. That's what they're saying. Very few people have had such experiences. Let's finish this, verse 18. And it came to pass that when Jesus had made an end of praying unto the Father, he arose. But so great was the joy of the multitude that they were overcome. And it came to pass that Jesus spake unto them, and bade them arise. And they arose from the earth, and he said unto them, Blessed are ye because of your faith. And now behold, my joy is full. And when he had said these words, he wept, and the multitude bare record of it. And he took their little children one by one, and blessed them, and prayed unto the Father for them. And when he had done this, he wept again. And he spake unto the multitude, and said unto them, Behold your little ones. And as they looked to behold, they cast their eyes towards heaven. And they saw the heavens opened, and they saw angels descending out of heaven, as it were in the midst of fire. And they came down and encircled those little ones about. And they were encircled about with fire, and the angels did minister unto them. And the multitude did see, and hear, and bear record. And they know that their record is true, for they all of them did see and hear every man for himself. And they were in number about 2,500 souls. And they did consist of men, women, and children. I'm not going to say too much about this. It's still one of the greater scenes in all scriptures. The angels coming down to minister to the little ones. But I will note, at the end there, it says there were 2,500 souls, approximately. We're not giving an exact number. And it consisted of men, women, and children. And this reminds me, in the New Testament, we read, when he feeds the 4,000 and the 5,000, or the 3, whatever. He feeds the 4,000, it says there were 4,000 men besides women and children. So in the New Testament, they don't count the women and children. They count all the men, and then they just say, there were women and children there as well. So there were much larger crowds, for one thing. There would have been 6,000 to 7,000 people there total. Here we have only 2,500. But Mormon does not make a distinction. He says 2,500 souls, and of this 2,500 there were men, women, and children. So it's not 2,500 men plus women and children, as it would have been in the New Testament. It is just 2,500 people. And I like that. So we're going to leave that here, and I will be picking this up in chapter 18 next, so I will see you there.